Bajaj Hindusthan, we will discuss now. Sugar has been very strong as a sector for the last few weeks. And Bajaj Hindustan's numbers came in yesterday. It was showed up by a lot of other income. And to talk about that, Kushagra Nayan Bajaj joins in. Kushagra, afternoon. Thanks for joining in. First, take us through, before we talk about the three segments, sugar, distillery and power, take us through the balance sheet and what you're doing now, because even when the operating numbers are good, your interest costs are so high that they dent your reported numbers quite significantly. By when do you think you can retire debt and get your interest cost substantially down?
If you see, actually our average interest cost is about 8.6%, which was last year about 8.4%. So we have been able to manage on the debt side, even though in the last 6 months, as you know, the world has gone through an upheaval and interest rates have gone up significantly. But in our case, it hasn't been like that. I think this year's cash flow and next year's cash flow should considerably reduce the debt, as well as the interest component on that. So I think next 2 years, with the cycle looking favorable for the sugar industry, including those players in UP and Bajaj Hindusthan, I think that will mitigate quite a bit of the problems.
Kushagra, so when you step into FY10, where does your debt equity ratio stand at, and what is the total debt on books right now for Bajaj Hindusthan?
I think gross debt, which includes working capital, and as you know, working capital is a huge component in Bajaj Hindusthan or any sugar company's thing as on 31st March, because we are holding on to a lot of inventory, is about 3,300 crores. So that includes inventory of about 6.1 lakh tons of sugar as on 1st of April.
Sugar revenues are down 12% in the quarter, Kushagra, largely because volumes are down. Volumes are not expected to pick up substantially anytime soon. By when do you see the jump in price realizations offsetting the drop in volumes, where you can start reporting positive numbers from the sugar segment?
I think we've already started seeing that in April, because we're selling sugar at between 25 to 26 rupees ex-factory net of excise duty, which if you see last quarter, the average is about 20 rupees a kilo. So we've seen a 5 rupees expansion in April, 5 to 6 rupee expansion per kilo of sugar in April, and sitting on huge inventory of almost an entire year's production. So that should get reflected into the bottom line in the third and fourth quarters.
Some of your peers have made very bullish comments about where they see sugar prices headed, Kushagra, for the rest of this year. What is your own estimation of how much of a shortfall there's going to be this time, and what that might lead prices to hover around?
Mitali, that's a very tough call to say, and I think 25, 26, what you're selling is a great price. It's a price which, if you frankly ask me, I didn't expect it to be hit even 3 weeks ago. So I think this is something which has caught me by surprise, especially, even though we know that production in India is only going to be between 13.75 to 14 million tons for the year that we're currently in. So the estimate is going down daily, and I think now it's 99% accurate that it will be somewhere between 13.75 to 14 million tons. So with that, carryover stocks on all India basis will be virtually nil. And with the allowing of import duties on the raw side as well as on the white sugar side, you'll be just about hand to mouth. Next year production is also looking tight compared to the consumption, because consumption would be anywhere between 23 to 24 million. And I think, although it's too early to say because monsoons are still to play out, but the best guess estimate on the optimistic side is about 18 million tons. So there'll be a shortfall of 5 to 6 million tons even next year. So theoretically, keeping the balance sheet in view, on all India basis, prices should be higher from where they are today. But I would say even at these prices, it will be a great business.
Okay. What should one expect from the distillery and the power divisions in the next few quarters, Kushagra? Because your distillery division performance has not been great in the current quarter. Do you see it shoring up profitability in the next few quarters?
No, I think, Udayan, profit will be driven primarily through sugar, simply because if you crush less cane, you have less molasses, proportionately that much less molasses, and therefore that much less alcohol to be made. And if you're going to crush less, obviously the amount of power that you're going to generate is also going to be that much less. And now that the season is over, as we say, crushing is over, so we know how much molasses there is, how much alcohol we made, and there's no more power going to be made during the off season. So So I don't think there's going to be any substantial movement this year because of lack of crushing across, just not only for us, I think for everybody in general, on the power and distillery side. Whatever profitability is going to be driven from the sugar business.
Just one quick word to Kushagra. This time round you have a huge forex loss reversal as well. Why is it that you're choosing not to go with the AS 11 norms?
No, we are following the AS 11 norms, and we have categorically disclosed that. And therefore, if you see in the profit before tax on a consolidated basis of about 180 crores for the quarter, a good 120 crores is because of forex reversal for this year based on AS 11, and the rest is all from operations.
Thanks, Kushagra, very much. Good luck for the next few quarters. That's Bajaj Hindusthan talking about the numbers. They say 25-26 rupees for sugar is a great price, and that should help profitability going forward, and they will try and deleverage their balance sheet considerably so that interest costs come down. That stock's moved up 1.5% now at 76.25.